How's it going, YouTube? Yeah, Pat Mac here, and this is week 8 of our TGR Singles League, and I am playing up against LukeHarry, coach of the Sydney Staraptors. You might notice that we're already in the middle of the game. Well, I guess not the middle, at the very beginning. But yeah, and I'm doing postcom also. This is also postcom, just if you hadn't picked that up yet. Yeah, because I am, I don't know, my audio was like all messed up, so there's probably going to be a string of like, I don't know, 3-ish matches, maybe 4, where I'm going to be doing postcom like this. So yeah, let me just go and take a look at what they have going on. So I think I have a Tarka here. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me drop into the right mindset here. So I'm playing against his team, and I know I've already made it into the playoffs, right? So I'm not trying to bring what I would consider my best sets against the team. I'm just kind of bringing some stuff for fun. Houndoom was Pokemon that like I have been very, very disappointed with this Pokemon. It just seems like a really bad mon. Yeah, not at all excited to use it really. It just doesn't seem very good. So but I want to give myself like a chance to actually try it out, so I'm trying to bring it to some more games. I brought it last week, I brought it this week, but we'll see. I'm not a huge fan of this mon. So yeah, I brought it against this team. I think I led Salamence here. I thought Salamence looked good against their team overall. And yeah, against the Blaziken, like obviously it's really good. But I think that just overall, I thought it did okay. I forget what set I'm running. Oh, that's right. I'm special with Dragon Tail. Yeah, so the Dragon Tail is so that I can phase out the Espathra, but the Espathra is like potentially like if they wait till it's their last mon, then like I'm kind of in a bad spot against it. But yeah, as you can see here, they lead Basculin, and they're special, or at least mixed, I guess. Maybe to like get around, like maybe it's just Ice Beam and mixed to get around Intimidate, or they're just fully special. I don't know. But anyway, so we pick him out on the first turn, which is awesome, obviously, but we got a Draco to pick up the KO. And I have no idea what they'd go into next. Probably Grimmsnarl. I feel like Grimmsnarl makes the most sense, if they have it. Remember, this is 4v4, so they may not even have Grimmsnarl. Yeah, now we just get to wait and figure out what they're doing. But obviously, we're able to take that Ice Beam. I'm very Spadef on this because their team has a lot of special attackers. But yeah, Grimmsnarl makes a lot of sense. I figure that's what it is. And there's a lot of things that this mon could do, but I basically have to switch always. I kind of wonder if I could have gone to Houndoom here. Probably not, right? Yeah, I just don't really threaten anything. Or I don't really threaten it with Houndoom. Whereas this this Pokemon, I'm Terra Fairy, so I can potentially Terra Fairy here if I want to do that. I don't know why I used Parabolic Charge there. I feel like I should have Volt Switched. Although Parabolic Charge is kind of a way to, like, kind of slow, yeah, it's like to stop the screens from lasting for a long time, so it's just like a longevity move. And yeah. But they could, like, I don't know, like, screens on this team with, like, a Espathra setup, or like Dragapult setup, or Toxicity setup, like all of those things could be bad. So there's a lot of options I could go into here. And I think the worst ones are probably, they bring Pult. I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, Pult would resist all of our hits. Just because, like, as much as I have loved Belly Bolt on the last couple of games, it doesn't have very good coverage. So it's like electric and water, basically. And so I think I just Volt Switch here, because I'm already at -1. So the idea is that, yeah, because I'm at -1, the plan is just to get out from the parting shot, and they also have like the light screen, so I'm dealing like no damage. Yeah, and they're Dragon Dance, which is super bad for me. But I basically have to go into Rose. Yeah, I have to go into Houndoom here. And you would think that like this Pokemon would be so good, right? Like the typing is perfect against what we've got going on here. I mean, not perfect, right? I guess if it was like, I don't know, like Dark Fairy. Is there a Dark Fairy Pokemon? I don't think there's a Dark Fairy Pokemon. Oh, I'm hella dumb. There's a Grimmsnarl on the other side of the team. there's definitely a Dark Fairy Pokemon. Yeah, so like Grimmsnarl would obviously be a perfect check to this, but they have Grimmsnarl, and I don't have Grimmsnarl. This is my Dark type. And yeah, Houndoom is nothing special. But I think I go for Sucker Punch here. Yeah, and they end up dodging it. I still think that this was the right play, because like if they had just attacked me, then I was in a really bad spot. But I think there's a world where I could have just gone for Crunch and just like tried to deal as much damage as possible. Like I don't hate that idea here as well. But I also don't really want them to set up a bunch more. This is probably me deciding if I want to do Crunch or Sucker Punch. I think I should like click Sucker Punch again. I think that's what I should do here. Cause like, I don't know, you start to get into like Sucker Punch mind games. Yeah. Cause like if they, I don't know, if they're like sub and I go for Sucker Punch, then that's super bad. If they like Dragon Dance again, then that's really bad too. And no, they're just Dragon Darts, which is also pretty bad for me. Like super bad for me too. Yeah. But them being physical is like not a good thing, and they're at double damage basically. Do I go Kensei? I must go Kensei here, right? I mean that makes sense, right? Because like by swapping to a Steel type, I have a better chance of taking the hits, which is kind of my thought process. And if I can get a Trick Room, then of course like I'm in a much better situation. So that's part of the idea for what I'm doing here. But I actually don't even know if I live a hit, because if I don't live a hit, then this is probably just game over. Well, maybe not. I wonder if I just should have gone into Belly Bolt and like Terra Fairy'd. But I don't know. It's tough. Because if I go into Belly Bolt and Terra Fairy, then that gives what's that Pokemon's name? Toxtricity a chance to set up against me, and that would also be bad. So like screens plus a lot of setup is just really bad for me. And they Will-O-Wisp me here, which is honestly like that is not what I expected. Because like they're Dragon Dance, Darts, and Will-O-Wisp. Like I don't know, the moves are not what I would have anticipated from a Dragon Bolt set. But this Pokemon is capable of like literally everything. Like it's such a good Pokemon. So I guess it's not too surprising. But basically no reason not to go for Night Slash here. But they just have an easy switch, you know? Like, I feel like if I'm in their position, I just go into Grimmsnarl. And then you just, like, stall out the, whatchamacallit. Oh, hold up. I am Terra Steel. So maybe you go, like, Fortress? You go Fortress. Although I am, I mean, I'm not going to Terra Steel. I'm not going to use, like, Iron Head or something here. If I had it, you know what I mean? And that even doesn't even do enough damage. Like, look at how bulky this Dragapult is. It's insane. And it still does that much damage when I'm Terra'd. I mean, okay, hold up. Gallade's physical defense is super low, so I guess this all kind of makes sense. But doing that little damage to a Dragapult with a super effective hit is kind of unfortunate. As in, like, really, really bad. Like, super bad. But I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, because I'm also not very physically invested. Like, I'm mostly HP and Spit F, because I want to try to be able to take hits from Espathra. Yeah. But, yep. So bad. So, yeah, this Dragapult's a huge problem for me. I don't have my Terra anymore either, so I can't even Terra Fairy. I basically like have to go into Salamence, and the only thing I can do here is click like Dragon Tail or Draco. Like that's the best I can potentially do here. But again, they just have an easy swap into Grimmsnarl, and you know if I'm thinking from their perspective, like you could literally just swap here too, or you could stay in. I have to Draco, right? And then you go into Espathra and just Calm Mind win from there. As you can see, I feel like my opponent's team plays itself, and this is super hard for me. This is like really tough. I think their decisions to make, I think, are a lot easier than mine are. Or I feel, or maybe it's more like the decisions I have to make are forced, whereas like they have options. Because they could have just stayed in, right? Like if I had tried to go for like flamethrower predicting or roost predicting, and they just like dragon darts me, like because they were fine with sacking it, then I lost anyway, you know. And maybe it's worthwhile to take that kind of risk. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like, is it worthwhile to take a risk like that when you know you're in a losing position, and to I don't know, just try to do the best that you can? It's really hard to say. But yeah, like this Grim Shot was tough. I think I should have switched there actually. So I think that was a mistake. I think I did go for, what did I go for? Muddy Water? That's not gonna do like 0 damage. Did I do that because of an accuracy drop? I wonder if that was my thought process at the time. Yeah, they can just go back and Dragon Ball here, right? You know? And yeah, we're in a super bad spot. I assume this is Clear Body also, which it is not. I would assume Clear Body because on my team I have Cricketune for webs, so I would have expected Clear Body here. But now it's just another... Yep, just another Volt Switch. So, not in a very good position. And I'm pretty sure I just am likely to lose this one. Like, I just don't think there's a way for me to play around this. They just go Dragon Darts, yeah. Now, I'm super bulky, right? And even with the Electromorphosis, I probably don't do enough because I'm at -1. Although, ooh... Does this do like quadruple damage or something? I mean, with that damage output, maybe not. That was like 0. I don't know. But basically I have to go into it. But I also get the Intimidate drop, right? From Atarka here, so I don't know, maybe there's a chance. But if I remember right, my game plan against this team was like all Trick Room because they had so many ways of boosting their speed, so it was like try to get Trick Room set up and then win in Trick Room. But that's like a really difficult game plan to have in singles. But my team isn't fast enough to beat out what he's got going on here. But with the Intimidate drop, I might actually be able to take hits, so I feel like my play should just be Roost. Yeah. And we get lucky because they missed Dragon Darts off the accuracy drop, which is all sorts of funny. But like this is a play that they could have made like earlier, you know? They could have had me drop to -2 special attack and then one with a Espathra. I'm assuming Espathra is their last mon, you know? Like I've picked up 1 KO, but yeah. And then I assume a swap is happening here, so I think I have to make a play and go into what's the name? The Belly Bolt? Big fan of Belly Bolt. Yeah. He looks so happy too. Look at him. He's like a... Yeah, he's amazing. I love him. But I should Volt Switch here because he's going to Parting Shot, right? And if he doesn't Parting Shot, then like, I don't know. What is he going to do instead? Like, Breaking Swipe or... Not Breaking Swipe. The other one that drops special attack. Spirit Break. Probably Spirit Break if he didn't do this other one, so... Yeah. Tough Pokemon to deal with. But I'm a huge fan of Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is so cool. And having Prankster Parting Shot this gen is so good. So good. Yeah, I'm basically just going to Volt Switch because I'm at -1 already. So just go back into our other dude. And at this point, like, I mean, the game is kind of getting delayed, but like I'm in 100% in a losing position. I don't actually think there's really a way out for me. But with the Intimidate, I'm for sure... I feel very confident that I can take a Darts. So, yeah. I don't remember what move I go for here. Like, it's so tough, because I really cannot go for... Do I swap again? I mean, I'm just not doing anything, you know? I guess I could Dragon Tail him so that he doesn't set up on me. But he wouldn't set up, you know, like he probably just darts me here. Yeah, that makes sense. But look at how much, like, I actually at -1, like, I'm able to take those hits fairly well at least, but yeah. Dragon Tail to try to stop some setup. And this also kind of gets around the light screen too, which is nice. So we pick up another KO, but like, yeah. He can just go Grimmsnarl like super easily, and then I'm just in a really bad spot. Or Espathra, which ended up being their last mon. Yeah, that's also really bad. So yeah. But I basically like have to Draco, right? Like that's my best chance of being able to hit this. Maybe, yeah, because like they just... Oh, yeah, Dragon Tail. No, Dragon Tail is definitely the right play. But they know I have it, right? This has got to be Terra Fairy. Yeah, Terra Fairy, yeah. Yeah, so like... I don't know, man. This Pokemon is tough. Espathra is a nightmare. It is so good. Yeah, this Pokemon I've had huge problems with. I think one thing I noticed about our tiering system is that, like, I think I severely underrated this Pokemon, and it is like way too low on our tier list. And nobody else mentioned that they thought it should go up in price, so maybe we all didn't realize how good it was. But yeah, no, it's a huge problem. Like, you can because you have speed boost, right? You can essentially just go like max HP, max defense. And because you have Calm Mind, you're going to be able to take special hits anyways. And like you don't really care about having any investment because you have stored power. So it's basically just like, and then you can Terra Fairy to deal with dark types. So you can't really check this Pokemon very reliably, which feels really tough. I think it may end up like moving up and to like one of the top spots, because like I think for speed boost Pokemon last gen, I think there's obviously Blaziken, right? And Blaziken's really strong, but there's what's the other one? Scolipede was another speed boost mon that was like toward the higher parts as well, and I wasn't a super big fan of Scolipede either, but like it was very high. It was pretty high in price for draft leagues, and I think Espathra is going to be one of those mons too. I think it's going to be like pretty high in price, just because of its sweeping potential, and I think it's a way better sweeper than Scolipede. I wonder. Ooh, I had never thought about this. Is it better than Blaziken? That is an interesting question. I don't even think I'd considered before. I'm gonna go and skip over to our next game. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, is it a better mon than Blaziken? That's a very interesting question, because like Blaziken in terms of draft leagues was basically banned out, you know. But Espathra has more speed, with stored power hits harder, with Terra hits the things that check it. Yeah, I don't know actually. Let me know what you think actually. Is Espathra better than Blaziken? Because if it's better than Blaziken, like for sure it will end up getting banned from draft leagues. And I think I severely underrated this mon, like I mentioned earlier, but it after having seen like, I don't know, it being used in a handful of draft leagues now, like I think it could be, yeah, I think it could be better. It's definitely not as versatile, right? So like Blaziken, obviously you can just like sub protect to get your speed up, but like this one has ways of healing itself with Roost. It has Blaziken, I guess technically has bulk up, but you didn't usually see it as like, oh, and this one's faster too, right? Espathra's faster. It's like 80 speed I think on Blaziken versus 100 and something on Espathra, so it starts out faster. Yeah, and then you get like stab, stored power. I don't know, everybody. Maybe. Oh, I should talk about the game. Okay, so I end up bringing Arboliva. I don't know why I let it, because like Basculin would have been a pretty big problem, right? But I don't know. Okay, I'm also a huge fan of Arboliva. I've been a big fan of this Pokemon, having used it in this season, and the other one too. But I think I should Leech Seed, right? Yeah, Leech Seed. I probably should have done that to begin with, actually. But I felt like they were likely to screen and then likely to Parting Shot here. So I guess this way I get some damage and then I get some... I guess one thing that's nice about having Leech Seed here is that it can kind of help against Espathra, like, kind of-ish? I don't know. It's really hard to stop that Pokemon from setting up. Like, you really need ways of dealing with it, but... My team is, like, all special attackers, too, which is super bad. But having Leech Seed here is kind of nice against a lot of their setup threats, is that, like... some of them are taking like multiple turns to set up, so if you can deal some damage over time to them, then that seems like a great place to be. But I have options here. I could go Belly Bolt, which seems solid. I can also Kensei, which is solid too. I'm kind of expecting a Shift Gear to happen here. Like, it seems very likely. Oh, okay. Well, I thought they might stay in actually and just try to use it to break, but it looks like they're just trying to go for game all the time. I assume it, because here's my assumption, is that it's shift gear. But I also don't have a ground type, so like if it wasn't shift gear, then I would have expected Volt Switch. So like that to me points out that it's probably shift gear. Plus like you have all the whatchamacallit, the things. you have screens, right? And screens with a ton of setup just makes some sense to me. I don't know what I'm doing here. Like legit, I have no idea. Okay, I'm swapping. I don't know why I'm swapping. I guess because I wasn't ready to swap yet, or I wasn't ready to set up Trick Room, and I didn't want to Terra. And yeah, I mean they just have an easy Parting Shot play, right? I wonder if that was a term I could have Trick Roomed, and then I could have gone into some of my other threats here. I don't know. That's a tough one to look back on, because I think that going for Trick Room right there would have been a great option. Because then I've actually could have gotten out into Arboliva or Belly Bolt, and I would have had Trick Room speed advantage. But hard to say. Because I don't know what their play would have been. Okay, let's go into Toxicity again. Because I think this kind of forces me to go back into Gallade, right? But they don't have Leech Seed on them. Whereas like last turn, they wouldn't have been able to go into... they wouldn't have been able to go into Toxicity off this Parting Shot if I'd left Gallade in. If I'd left Gallade in and Trick Roomed here on their Parting Shot, they would have had to switch into something expecting an attack, which could have been maybe like Defensive Fortress, or they probably could have gone Espathra. Maybe. I don't think you could go pull. Actually, it would have been tough for them to decide what to switch in, actually. Now I'm thinking about this a little bit more. I mean, I'd be at -1, so they'd probably feel comfortable switching most stuff in. But, yeah, Terra Normal, Shift Gear, Boom Burst kind of stuff is what I would expect. Yeah. But I think this play makes some sense because I could have Earth Power, so they want to dodge that. And I wouldn't be running a fighting move against this Mon. So options here are to just go for Sacred Sword, pick up the KO, which doesn't seem like a bad idea, or Trick Room as an option here as well. And Trick Room kind of supports a little bit of a longer game plan, but also kind of lets them just switch in Dragapult pretty freely. I think I should have just Sacred Sworded here, actually. Yeah, it looks like I went for Trick Room, but I think that Trick Room allows Toxicity to stay alive. I think I just should have KO'd this, let myself be at a fairly low HP level, and then maybe Trick Room on the next turn with whatever's in front of me. I think was an option. With his Throat Spray, right? Yeah, Throat Spray. Yeah, so I think my play here should have just been KO this Pokemon and then play from there, right? Because I think they go... I don't know what they go into. If they have Fortress, I could see it, but they haven't been using that at all. They just seem to be purely content on... yeah, they just seem content on having screens with setup. And so this is nice, actually. Like, I deal quite a bit of damage here. Sacred Sword should deal a ton. Yeah, exactly. And I get some leftovers recovery here, so this is great. And Trick Room. I'm surprised I didn't go Dragon Bolt. I think they could have gone Dragon Bolt and tried to play around some turns a little bit here. Whoa, what am I doing? I went Night Slash? Oh, right. Prankster, Parting Shot. Then you go into Dragon Bolt, where you're assuming that you can take the Night Slash. Or where you're assuming you can take the Sacred Sword as immunity, and Night Slash will do less. So that's my read. I think it's a pretty smart read, because what happened, you know? So what do they go into? Espathra and Dragon Bolt would both be pretty good, though. Like, being at -1 is pretty rough. But I call the Night Slash, which is great, but I also do less than half, which is really bad. Like, that's so bad. I really need to do way more damage than that. I forget what I do here. I mean, I haven't remembered a whole lot of this, I guess, but Belly Bolt has kind of been my check to this, but I don't think Belly Bolt's really a check. It like can take hits, but I don't know. I don't think this Belly Bolt set was very good against this team. I kind of wonder if I should have gone like Thunder Wave or something on it instead. But I tried to go like physically defensive with AV to like take less damage from this, but the Dragon Dance is super bad. And the swap here was because I assumed that a Will-O-Wisp was coming. You can see from how much damage they took last turn that like they weren't gonna die in another hit, so I pretty much had to swap or get Wisped, and I wasn't really interested in getting hit by a Will-O-Wisp. Here I think my play is this last turn of Trick Room. Okay, so I could Volt Switch, but they likely Dragon Dance, and then I'm kind of in a bad spot. Oh, okay, well I Terra Fairy and Fairy Blast, yeah, Terra Blast. So yeah, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of this play, because I feel like this just lets in Toxicity, which seems really bad, but at the same time, this mon is mostly here for Dragon Bolt, so maybe at that point I'd just end up sacrificing Jammers, and they're likely to go for a normal move anyway that I can definitely take because I'm AV. But picking up the Dragon Bolt KO is nice. Just one less threat to deal with. And the Grimmsnarl is pretty low, so like I can still hit that pretty well. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not at -1 or anything, right? Yeah, no, I'm not at any negatives. So that part's good. But they do still have they have Toxicity, Grimmsnarl, and we don't know the last one, right? I'm just assuming Espathra. I would just make that assumption based on what I've seen so far. But we'll see. I think if I was them, I would go... Honestly, if you think that I'm AV, you go Espathra. If you think I'm T-Wave, then maybe you go into, like, Toxicity and try to hit this. And maybe get a better sense of what to expect from this. I don't know, hard to say. But now they don't need to worry about, I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Oh, I mean, I guess you go Grimmsnarl and then you just Parting Shot. I should Volt Switch, right? Volt Switch, yeah, 100%, right? Because they're going to Parting Shot based on how much HP they have. They could also set up a screen. That would also make sense here. Yeah, light screen makes sense. So I Volt Switched because I'm expecting there to be a screen or a Parting Shot here. One option is to just KO, but yeah, that's not a great situation here. Oh, what if I had gone Myrtle? I think I should have gone into... I probably could have gone into my other mon here. I forget what moves I have. But setting Trick Room I think makes a lot of sense right here. Because it feels very likely that they're going to Parting Shot me into one of their fast threats, right? So I should just set up Trick Room and then I'll be in a much better position. Yeah. I mean, they could set up Reflect, I guess, if they have it. Yeah, they Parting Shot. Yeah, I mean, so far all I've seen is Light Screen and Parting Shot, and it's been so rough. This Pokemon's frustrating. It's so difficult to beat this. But I think they go, they have to go Espathra here. If Espathra's their last one, then they just have to use it. But I have Night Slash for it at the very least, so, like, obviously that's a good thing. But they are Terra Fairy, right? So I guess my best move would be Psycho Cut. Oh no, that's not a great situation to be in. I mean, I guess it's Stab, chance of crit, that kind of thing. But, yeah, I don't know. They're definitely thinking a lot, though. They go Toxicity. That surprises me. Okay, well, I Trick Room here. I should definitely just Sacred Sword then, right? Really no reason not to. Because I know Sacred Sword kills this. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, no animation. Wait, what the heck? That's weird. That's okay. But yeah, definitely go for Sacred Sword, pick up this KO, and maybe I can get some more done. Maybe they don't have a spot there. Wait, why would you not have a spot there, though? I am very confused. What's going on here? They go into Grimmsnarl. Alright. So definitely just sacking a Pokemon. We are still at -1, which is not a great place to be, but I'm pretty sure I still kill a Toxicity at -1, so... And we're still in Trick Room. That's a good thing, too. So, yeah. And they do have a spot there as last one. Okay. So, no Fortress, no Basculin. Yeah, I just go for a Night Slash. I'm not sure that was the right play. Yeah, I'm not sure that was the right play. I think I could have also gone into Flutter Mane and try to threaten this with like Moonblast. I think that would have been a better play. But, oh, that's not good. So they just expect to take some damage on Roost. Yeah, I think I probably should have gone into Flutter Mane and tried to use my Trick Room terms while not being at -1 attack, which is bad. But now that they see that damage, oh god, that's so bad for me actually. Because now they freely call Mind Tier, right? And all my other attackers are special. Oh, that was really fast. I forgot to see how many Trick Room turns there were. So I go into this. That means I'm probably looking to Leech Seed. But I'm at a 42 advantage, right? Like, I should, as long as I can stop this Mon, then I'm in a good position. Yeah, but I basically have to go Leech Seed here, right? And then, I don't know. hope and pray. Yeah, but I'm not in a good position. Because none of my damaging attacks will do enough here. If this was like... Oh man, if I had Encore would be so good right here too. You know, that's probably the way that you have to deal with the Espathra is you need to have some kind of like Encore or some kind of like Prankster Mon. But if it's open Terra, then you could Terra Dark. But then you don't hit the Dark types that would stop. Yeah, you kind of really need a Prankster Mon to deal with this, huh? Like Prankster Encore or Prankster something. But yeah, like going Leech Seed on this is like kind of the play, kind of not the play, you know? Because now this is, he's got 2 Calm Minds and 3 Speed Boosts, I think. So we're looking at a double damage, what did I say, 2 Calm Minds, 3 Speed Boosts, so that's 7. So 20, so this is 160 power, stored power right here, yeah. 160 power stored, 160 power stab stored power with double damage. So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything takes this hit. This is bad. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but this is not a winnable position right here. Dang, how are you supposed to beat this one? I think I mentioned it, right? You need Prankster stuff. And Leech Seed was not the way. I needed this to try to set up on my Leech Seed. I think is how I had to do this. They actually Calm Mind again. Honestly, I don't even think they needed to. I'm gonna be real. They probably could have KO'd me from here. But yeah, I'm in a really rough spot. Okay, so technically they can't Terra Fairy anymore, right? So that's something. But yeah, there's no way I'm able to deal with this. I think I needed, I don't know what I needed. I need to not let this set up. So how do I not let this set up? I would have had to, I guess I needed to swap into Fluttermane earlier while we were still in Trick Room. And like, I don't know, fish for like Moonblast special attack drops. I guess that's an option. But at this point, like there's no counterplay. There's no way for me to win this. Because I already used my Terra also, so I can't go Terra Steel on anything to stop stuff. But like, yeah, these stored powers are just gonna sweep. But yeah, so okay, so question for this video, if you've made it this far, is the one that I mentioned earlier. Which speed booster is more broken, Blaziken or Espathra? My vote currently is on Espathra, actually. I think this Pokemon is way more powerful than Blaziken is. It's way more expected, but like also Blaziken is kind of expected too, I think. Like it's like Swords Dance, you live a hit, and then you Oko everything. This is kind of a similar situation. Like you Calm Mind, nothing can kill you, and then you win. So, yeah. I'm gonna go with the Espathra. I think the Espathra is probably the better speed booster. This Pokemon is pretty terrifying. So, yeah. As you can see, we're just gonna lose this one. I think I'm just gonna cut it right here. We'll see this last KO, and then that'll be it. But yeah, super tough. But well played over to LukeHarry. Like I think his team is really strong. Espathra I think is super broken. And yeah, I think he's got a really good shot of winning the league, like with the combos that we've seen, we've seen from just this match. So anyway, if you'd like to see some more of our content, definitely stick around, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one.